guys, I'm Lindsay Lohan. I hope you're enjoying The Parent Trap. I had a great time back when I made it. There's so much to show you, though. I kind of wish there really were two of me. Hello there, Lindsay. How weird is that? It's not weird, just a little bit of Disney magic.
Although May 16th, 2006 was shaping up to be an unremarkable Tuesday evening in Los Angeles, the paparazzi had dutifully woven themselves into the sidewalks and parking lots of the Sunset Strip. Josh Levine was the photographer for a celebrity-themed website that had launched the previous year, TMZ.com. His boss, Harvey Levin, had given him one directive: if Paris breaks a nail, you be there. Tabloids were scrambling to salvage their dying print publications by dialing up sensationalism to overkill. But TMZ focused on raw footage of unsolicited public encounters with famous people, which could be confrontational as often as they were congenial.
Love you, man. How's the party, brother? Thanks, bro. No.
What are you doing?
Hey, don't do that, man.
Don't do that again.
Get easy, brother. Watch out, get knocked on your ass, bro.
Fuck off, you dirty fucking pigs.
Get the fuck out of the way! I can't see! There are cars there, motherfucker! Get out of the way!
I want you to drop fucking dead.
Fuck up, scumbag.
Hey.
You're good enough. Can you just move away from my children, please?
Yeah, I'm not doing your children.
You mind?
Better keep your hands away from me.
Oh, I wasn't making anything.
You think Lindsay deserves to be upset over being made fun of? Miley?
Calm down. You just hit my mom.
I didn't hit your mom.
Yeah, you hit
I'll
my
never
mom with the
disrespect your
camera.
mom. Relax. Yeah. Come on, Kanye.
I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry.
Just want you to know we're here to support you, though.
Ain't no fuck all of y'all.
Along the way, celebrity feuds, largely choreographed by studio publicity departments, had been a staple of the Hollywood hype machine since the days of silent films.
You know what they say, divide and conquer.
That Tuesday, Levine was staked outside Hyde Sunset in West Hollywood. His camera rolled as he spotted Paris Hilton leaving the nightclub. But while no nails were broken that night, the inebriated mutterings of one of her entourage would go viral the next day.
Okay, Lindsay Lohan? Would you fuck her? Would you fuck her? Just tell me the truth. Would you fuck her mom? Because I wouldn't. Would you fuck her dad? Her dad's hotter than her. Alright?
Brandon Davis's verbal assault on Lindsay Lohan caught the public off guard for being seemingly completely unprovoked, nihilistically vicious, colorful, and ultimately inane. But as it happened, this less than dignified moment in pop culture history would stand at the convergence of reality TV, social media, e-celebrity, trolling, and call-out culture, alongside the classic misogyny-driven Hollywood machine. It was old Hollywood trying and failing to stay on top, while playing by new rules of the 21st century. It was a story from the intersection of fame and wealth. At the center of it all, a 19-year-old who'd known only the entertainment industry since she was 3. Her volatile freefall from the pinnacle of stardom was playing like a reboot of Marilyn Monroe or Judy Garland on Fast Forward. A 25-year-old who'd spent her life in extreme privilege and appeared to be motivated solely by attention. Behind a public facade of vapid superficiality, she quietly rewrote the book on celebrity culture at the dawn of a new era of digital media. This is the story of Fire Crotch.
Fire Crotch. It's a Fire Crotch.
Two people in love enjoying sex.
So Lindsay Lohan is a fire crotch. And she has freckles coming out of her vagina. Lindsay Lohan's vagina.
But I'll know it.
August Halverson Hilton, Gus, was 15 years old when he and his brother Nils immigrated to America from Norway in 1870. Gus made his way to Fort Dodge, Iowa, where he later met and married 23-year-old Mary Lofferswaller on February 12, 1885. The newlyweds relocated to New Mexico territory, where the local economy was flourishing from post-Civil War settlement. Gus operated a successful dry goods store in San Antonio, later adding to their income by renting out rooms in the back of the store to boarders. When New Mexico was granted statehood in 1912, Gus and Mary's oldest son, Conrad, served as a representative in the state's first legislative assembly. He quickly became disenchanted with the open fraud and swindling that saturated the political climate, and declined to seek re-election in 1916. With World War I underway, he instead enlisted in the army as a second lieutenant and served in the Quartermaster Corps in Paris. While he was overseas, Gus was killed in an auto accident. After the war, Conrad looked to take advantage of the oil boom in Texas. He'd originally planned to open a bank, but instead Conrad bought his first property, the Mobley Hotel in Cisco, for $40,000 in 1919. He began offering 8-hour rates for his rooms, and it soon became the most popular option. 60 years later, when Conrad Hilton passed away in 1979, his estate was valued at $100 million. Conrad's son Baron had served in World War II as a photographer in the Navy before joining his father in the hotel business. As vice president of Hilton Hotels, Baron took charge of franchising and successfully expanded the hotel chain worldwide. Baron's son Richard had married in 1979 shortly after graduating from the University of Denver. Kathy Avanzino worked as a child actor in film and television along with some modeling. At Montclair College Prep School in LA, she became best friends with classmate Michael Jackson, and the two remained close throughout the rest of his life. On February 17, 1981, Richard and Kathy gave birth to their first of 4 children, Paris Whitney Hilton. Five years later, on July 2nd, 1986, Lindsay D. Lohan was born. Like Paris, she was also the oldest of 4. Her father, Michael Lohan, was a day trader on Wall Street, and her mother, Dina, was...
Mom is a beautiful woman and she's amazing.
I like that. Can you play that again? That's kind of hot.
Mom is a beautiful woman and she's amazing.
Kris Jenner claims to have coined the term momager, a portmanteau of mom and manager. Whether or not this is so, Jenner did trademark the term in 2015. But the momager trope has always been shaded by toxic, codependent, and parasitic parent-child relationships. The disappearance and murder of John Benet Ramsey in 1996 and ongoing speculation around it had begun a dialogue about the sexualization of prepubescent children and the predatory environment of child beauty pageants. Patsy Ramsey's role in getting her 6-year-old daughter involved in this world continued to be heavily scrutinized as the years passed and John Benet's murder remained unsolved.
When I first heard about Kim's tape, as her mother, I wanted to kill her. But as her manager, I knew that I had a job to do, and I really just wanted her to move past it.
By definition, the dual role of parent and talent manager leads to inevitable conflicts of interest, such as weighing the safety and well-being of the child against the ruthlessness necessary to compete in show business.
How about a hand for Lisa? Yeah. And her mom and her sister Hanya's here as well.
Adding to this is the prevalence of the momager, who lives vicariously through her child's career after her own failed attempt at stardom earlier in life.
She's not the only Lohan. She has 3 siblings, all being raised by her equally famous mother, Dina.
You know, I learned to navigate it. In the beginning, it was hard, but I wouldn't say hard, it's just different. You know, I'm a mom first, so and I was in the business before I had kids, so.
I grew up in musical theater. My mother was on soaps on the radio. Like, we go way, way back, so.
Her father, Michael, is an investment banker, and her mother, a former Radio City Rockette.
Was your mom a rockette or something?
My mom was a rockette.
Your mom was a rockette. Sounds like, sounds like a book, My mom was a rockette,
My mom, the former rockette.
In 2007, the New York Post reached out to Radio City Music Hall for verification of the often repeated claim that Dina Lohan had been a member of the Rockettes. A spokesperson for the company reported that a thorough record search turned up no evidence this had ever been true, adding that executives were indignant that anyone would falsely claim to be a part of the prestigious dance troupe. It's like claiming to have a degree from Harvard when you don't, the spokesperson said. It's kind of a big deal. They asked Screen Actors Guild and American Federation of Film, Television, and Radio Actors if they had membership records. Both SAG and AFTRA denied neither Dina Lohan nor Donata Molina Nicolette Sullivan had ever been a member.
It was false, and the internet, there's no laws, so they can put anything they want on online. And
in 1990, Michael Lohan was investigated for insider trading and wound up sentenced to 3 years in prison for criminal contempt. That same year, 3-year-old Lindsay began her professional career, signing with Ford Modeling Agency.
I felt our back was against the wall. And
I was in that business as well, so everyone I knew, growing up in the business in New York, had connections everywhere. When Lindsay was signed to Ford, they were predominantly blondes and a couple of brunettes.
She just broke those barriers. She was so beautiful. Nobody cared what color her hair was.
She was like one of the first redheads they had signed. But I mean, when you're 5 years old, you don't really know what you want to do. It was just, I started out modeling. My mom knew someone and I just started going in and I really enjoyed it. And then I started auditioning for commercials. And
at 7, Lindsay made her acting debut on the CBS soap opera Guiding Light in 1993.
Hi, I'm Allie.
At 10, she had a recurring role as Allie Fowler on NBC's daytime drama Another World.
Don't make any plans. Mom doesn't date much. Well, it's true. Besides, she keeps her too busy on the paper. Come on, let's get out of here, get upstairs, do your homework.
Nice to meet you.
Have Mom back by 11. She has to be at work early.
I think it's an amazing starting ground for people. And it's fun to do soaps.
She appeared semi-regularly for a year before landing a lead in Disney's remake of their 1961 live-action hit film, The Parent Trap.
We'll be having twice the fun.
Haley Mills' portrayal of identical twins Hallie and Annie in the original was a truly iconic performance in film history.
Diane Keaton was so fantastic in It's Something's Gotta Give.
To fill the shoes, director Nancy Myers wanted a little Diane Keaton. 13-year-old Gina Malone won acclaim for her performance in that summer's blockbuster hit Contact, opposite Jodie Foster. Disney courted her heavily for the project, but Gina repeatedly declined.
How does it feel not to be allowed to see your own film tonight?
Well, I knew I wasn't going to be able to see it because it's got a 15 rating, and, well, I would love to be able to see it on the big screen, but I suppose I'm not going to get the chance to. But it's okay because I've been able to see it on private screenings, so I've already seen the film, and eventually I'll be able to see it on the big screen.
11-year-old Misha Barton was the first of hundreds to audition for the spot. None of them had worked out so far.
When I was younger, I would sit down and pray every night so that I could be in a movie.
When Lindsay arrived for her audition, the casting director immediately felt like they'd found little Diane Keaton.
I was never able to ever say the word dad. And a dad is an irreplaceable person in a girl's life. I mean, think about it. There's a whole day devoted to celebrating fathers, right? Mm-hmm. Just imagine someone's life without a father. Never buying a Father's Day card, never getting their father a birthday present, never being able to sit on their father's lap, never being able to say, "Hi, Dad. What's up, Dad? Bye, Dad. Catch you later, Dad." I mean, a baby's first words are always Dad, Dad, aren't they? And there's Daddy, Daddy-o, Pop, my old man. Not to mention, wait till your father gets home. Wait till your father gets home. Wait till your father gets home.
In 1992, Paris made her acting debut in Wishman. I couldn't find out much about Wishman online or how the 11-year-old ended up as an uncredited extra in it. Writer-director Mike Marvin's better-known work was on the 1982 Kenny Rogers comedy Six Pack, as well as Hamburger, the motion picture. While everything about Wishman seems to strongly suggest it was made as a direct-to-video release, according to IMDb, it did have a theatrical run.
Want to see a pretty face?
Yeah.
A cute one? This is a little cute face.
And what's your face then?
Little poopy face.
Utah has more facilities that serve at-risk youth and troubled teens than any other state in the country, due in large part to its willingness to place religious freedom above governance. Since its opening in 1971, Provo Canyon School has been dogged by allegations of abuse and neglect. Thanks to Utah's favorable regulatory climate, Provo Canyon and other facilities like it have been allowed to continue its allegedly harmful practices for decades with little interference. In 1998, the Hiltons had 16-year-old Paris placed on an involuntary psychiatric hold and committed to Provo Canyon for an extended period. In 2020, she went public with allegations that she was physically and emotionally abused by staff while she was there. Paris's account was consistent with reports from other patients before and since. So what kind of destructive behavior or severe emotional disturbance was Paris experiencing that was so troubling that her family, who had arguably more access to resources than most of the world, felt they had no choice but to resort to such extreme measures?
We basically were taught how to be debutantes. It's very proper, very prim, almost like a Stepford wife. It just didn't seem real or natural to me. I wasn't allowed to go out or go on dates or school dances, because my parents were so strict.
No dating, no makeup, no this, no that. Everyone had late curfews. No, you had to be home early. No, 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 no. And then finally, she was just like...
Everything that I didn't want her to do, she wanted to do. Getting into modeling, and I was just like, no, 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 no. She'd buy wigs, necklaces that said sexy, hot bitch. What? I'm thinking, no, no, this is too much for me.
So I felt like I was just kind of just sent away to be hidden.
Hi, it's me, Lindsay again. And me, Lindsay as well.
Ready to be a big famous celebrity?
Oh, I guess.
During filming of The Parent Trap in 1997, Michael Lohan flew from New York to be with his daughter on set in Napa, California. Michael was still on probation following his release from prison in 1993 and had failed to get prior approval from his probation officer to travel out of state. Michael's probation was revoked and he was sent back to serve another year in incarceration. Disney had already begun to explore the revenue potential in recycling old properties. Live-action remakes of their animated classics The Jungle Book and 101 Dalmatians had been passably received and highly profitable. The Parent Trap proved Disney could do the same with their older live-action catalog. Lindsay proved she had the talent and presence to make the role her own while still giving a nod to Haley Mills' work before her.
But if there is a hard part, it's remembering both lines, because it gets mixed up, because then if you add Natasha and Dennis and Elaine, then it's really hard because you're not sure which cues to go off of because there's so many people. You have to watch out, because I experienced this, is for walking into yourself and hitting yourself. I did a scene when I was walking and I walked into myself because I walked too fast. You don't say anything right now.
Overnight, 11-year-old Lindsay Lohan became Disney's top star.
It's great that, like, everyone says I'm going to be a big star and everything. I just don't want to let it go to my head. I want to stay normal. I'm still going to regular school, and I'm going to continue that and everything. And I want to still, like, have my friends and everything like that. I don't want to change very much.
Sunday, Tyra Banks is a living doll.
I'm alive.
It's not possible. With the help of Parent Trap's Lindsay Lohan.
You don't know the first thing about being human.
She starred in 2 made-for-TV movies, Life Size, which aired on ABC's Wonderful World of Disney, and the Disney Channel original Get a Clue.
Relax, who am I going to tell?
Well, Lindsay, with all this fame and fortune, how's your love life doing? How are the boys doing?
Oh.
You got any boyfriends?
No, not
Too
yet.
Too busy for them?
No, I don't need a boyfriend yet.
As Lindsay's 16th birthday drew nearer, Walt Disney Pictures saw their window of opportunity grow narrower. So they started combing the back catalog for more IPs to remake.
I wish I could switch places with her for just one day.
They had already revisited the Freaky Friday franchise as a Disney Channel movie in 1995.
Better be nice to have her life.
But the solid performances from Lindsay and co-star Jamie Lee Curtis were enough to carry the theatrical reboot, which was another box office success for the House of Mouse.
Eyes reflected in another's eyes.
When what you see is what you lack,
Then selfless love will change you back.
Whatever.
By this point, Disney's pivot from all ages content to targeting teen and tween audiences was in full swing.
Well, yeah. The statement that women are sexual objects. I mean, force them to dress up and compete against each other for the attentions of men? I'm sorry, but I personally find that dehumanizing to women, and I'm not going to have any part of it.
I'm thirsty. It's not possible. Come on. Give up the juice.
Dan Schneider had stepped out of the shadows of Dennis Blunden and Howard Hessman with a string of teen-oriented comedy series for Nickelodeon, beginning in 1994 with All That. Disney responded in kind with live-action and animated sitcoms centered around adolescent characters like Even Stevens, Proud Family, Lizzie McGuire, Kim Possible, and That's So Raven. Paris was able to leave Provo Canyon on her 18th birthday, and a month later, she and sister Nikki attended the premiere of Cruel Intentions.
And stars like David Schwimmer made a big splash at the premiere of Sarah Michelle Gellar's sexy teen drama Cruel Intentions. But when Sarah and her Emmy escort Jerry O'Connell arrived separately, they played coy with our Chris Raggi about their intentions.
No escorts, no date, huh?
Oh, I do.
She's a great girl. You're blushing.
I am blushing. I am officially blushing.
She signed with Donald Trump's modeling agency, T Management, and her profile quickly rose to icon status in early 2000s couture fashion. She started dabbling more in acting and made a cameo appearance in Zoolander.
Hey, Jared. You rule.
Thanks, Paris. I appreciate that.
At the time, the 20-year-old was dating a 32-year-old recently divorced father of two named Rick Salomon. Salomon was a crack cocaine enthusiast, low-level drug dealer, and aspiring bookie who floated around the fringes of the Hollywood party scene. In 1995, Salomon married actor E.G. Daly, best known for her work as Dottie in Pee-wee's Big Adventure, as well as the voice of Tommy Pickles on the Nickelodeon cartoon series Rugrats. They had two daughters, Hunter and Tyson, before divorcing in 2000. An unapologetic womanizer and serial philanderer, Salomon enjoyed videotaping his sexual conquests and exhibiting these tapes to friends. Salomon had repeatedly pressured Paris into letting him videotape her engaging in sex. In May 2001, the two were staying at the Beverly Hills Hotel when she relented, took several Quaaludes, and participated. A couple months later, Paris and Salomon broke up. Salomon went on to briefly marry notoriously tempestuous actor Shannon Doherty in 2002. The idea of blurring the lines between television entertainment and real life had been around since at least the 1940s. While hobbyists and professional movie makers had been documenting real-world scenes since the advent of the motion picture in the 19th century, in the days when most people could only watch films in cinemas, unscripted, unstaged footage was confined to newsreels. As TV sets came into America's living rooms, audiences went from stepping out once or twice a week for a few hours at the movies to having content on several channels from 7 a.m. to 11 p.m. On August 10th, 1948, Candid Camera debuted on NBC.
Candid Microphone and Candid Camera with Alan Funt, starring you, the people. Welcome to the Candid Camera program, which brings you secretly made movies of all kinds of people in all kinds of situations. We intend to convince you that no one ever knows when he's caught by the Candid Camera.
The premise was fairly simple. Pull different kinds of pranks on the public while hidden cameras capture the action.
So now let's go to Klein's department store on Union Square, Manhattan. In that busy crowd, what customer would dream that she'd be the star of this television show? Behind the refund counter, I pose as a clerk, and here comes my first customer.
Oh, I've worked things here before. I never had to return anything. I mean, I was a regular course.
I'm afraid we won't be able to help you without a ticket.
She must have the receipt.
She doesn't.
She must have a sales check.
She has nothing at all. She must have thrown it out. I guess maybe she didn't want me to know how much she paid for it. Maybe she didn't want me to know what she paid for it, but I know she got it here.
Well, but she wouldn't have to let you know how much she paid for it if she kept it herself.
Well, she didn't return it. I got it. You know how it is for a birthday present. It's your garment.
Well, what do you mean the sleeves are too long for
They're
the kid?
too long. They can't even be fixed if I bend them up.
Not knowing they were being filmed allowed for more authentic reactions from the unwitting participants, resulting in moments unlike anything that could be written.
I bought it here. I mean, I know it was bought here. It was bought with other things.
All right, I'll give it to you.
I mean, it was what
All right. What's the
Why
matter?
make it tough?
No, I want to be sure that you're on a level with it. If you knew, man, all
I'll
of...
tell you what was bought with the jacket.
Let me tell you something. Have you ever been in a movie?
Well, I have a television. I don't get the movies like these
Yeah.
days.
Well, would you like to see yourself on television? You've just been on. We've been making movies. Look, there's a microphone right here. Look, come here. See, that's a camera. Did you ever hear the standard microphone thing? Did you?
Yes.
We'll give you your receipt in a minute.
After that, I should get a diploma.
Good evening, and welcome to Fox.
From its launch in 1987, the Fox channel heavily targeted teen and young adult audiences, with programming that favored raciness and edge over family-friendly appeal. In 1989, the network introduced Cops,
filmed entirely on location with the men and women who work in law enforcement,
which consisted entirely of camera crews on ride-alongs, documenting law enforcement encounters with suspected criminals.
Why don't you put some clothes on before you walk around here?
Ma'am, I've been walking for a long time.
Let me see what you have. You're going to jail. Get off the road wearing dressed like that. Where do you live? Well, give me some ID then, baby.
I'm no whore because I hate the bitches, because I know my old man's brother's wife and all of them would do it. I needed a ride. I gotta go get my clothes.
I'm John Walsh, and this is America's Most Wanted.
And America's Most Wanted, where host John Walsh featured active cases of fugitives and missing persons. Both shows were hits with audiences. America's Most Wanted aired until 2011, while, as of this writing, Cops is in its 36th season on Fox.
Are you on medications?
No. Her name was, I don't know. No, I'm not on medication. I'm on weed, though, and I feel hella good.
By the early 2000s, the success of primetime competition shows like CBS's Big Brother and Survivor had solidified reality TV as a mainstay of network television.
But things aren't always what they seem.
Oh my God.
Fox took the format to yet another level with Joe Millionaire.
Meet Evan Marriott. Income $19,000 a year. What will happen when this average Joe is transformed into a multi-millionaire?
So does the red wine go in there?
Evan will invite 20 beautiful women to a chateau in France who believe he has just inherited over $50 million.
There's a fairy tale.
Oh my.
Oh, wow.
If your man has $50 million, that's fabulous. The man of my dreams is honest. There he is.
How you doing?
He's so handsome.
He will lavish them with riches in order to find the woman who will love him for who he really is.
I've never dated somebody that made a lot of money. This is so amazing.
We're living in a fairy tale. It'll be interesting to see how it plays out. Like, we'll have a fairy tale ending or won't it?
Oh, he's mine.
Take a vitamin, get over it.
I've never seen grown, independent, self-sufficient women act like such brats.
I'm a competitive person.
This whole thing, gorgeous.
A lot of the other girls are very aggressive. I'll make this easy.
This is about all of America seeing 20 girls misled into thinking some guy's a millionaire and jet setting them all over the world.
It's something that every girl has dreamed about all their life.
But once this average Joe has made his choice, he will have to confess the truth.
What I'm going to say right now might come as a shock.
Will love or money prevail?
Previously on Joe Millionaire, it was dating for dollars.
You like shoes?
We got a superstar treatment.
All right.
Thank you.
It almost made me feel like a millionaire for about a minute.
Then, a slip of the tongue threatened to blow Evan's lie wide open.
The ship is going down right here.
Money talked.
Would I want to live comfortably? Yes.
And insecurity walked.
So you give me the old heave-ho?
Well,
only 4 got emeralds.
Joe Millionaire pulled in 18.6 million viewers for its debut on January 6, 2003, and over 35 million for the February 24th season finale, making it the highest-rated non-Super Bowl TV broadcast since the 2000 premiere of Survivor.
The most unbelievable pageant ever. 50 women will compete to marry a mystery multimillionaire she won't meet until she says I do. A 2-hour event ending in a legal marriage on national television. Who wants to marry a multimillionaire?
I do.
Bridezilla's, a new reality special.
Faced with the task of trying to top this, executives at Fox had given their comedy development department a challenge to come up with a vehicle for a comedy outside the conventional sitcom format.
Excuse me, Master Evan. Yes, Paul? The new crop of fine, tight lady ass has arrived.
Their idea was a fish-out-of-water reality show inspired by Green Acres, where well-heeled, pampered cosmopolitan types are placed in rural working-class scenarios, and hilarity ensues. Paris Hilton was already in talks with Fox to develop a project when the concept was pitched.
One of you is you're acting, right?
Mm-hmm.
And what show is that? Or
I'm doing a reality show with Fox. I'm starting in March, me living on a farm. It's gonna be kind of like the Green Acres feel. Me living on a farm.
And who are the other celebrities in that? Do you know?
It's just my own show, but I'm bringing my best friend Nicole Richie, who's been my best friend since I was 2.
Oh, so this is your own show?
Yeah.
This is not. They didn't say let's get Danny Bonaducci and Paris Hilton and throw you there.
No, I've been offered like over 50 reality shows. I've turned all of them down, but this seems like a fun one to do.
Okay.
I'm scared, but I think it'll be fun.
Right. And what was like the lamest one you were offered that you got turned down?
One of these shows with a bunch of has-beens. I don't know which one it was, but I was like, how do I conclude with these people? They're all like 50 years older than me, and
right.
I just wasn't feeling it. Yeah, they can't get arrested, so.
Right. Okay.
Not naming anyone.
So then I was thinking of who would be the most fun to do it with, and I immediately thought of Nicole Richie. We've known each other since we're 2 years old. There's nobody who's funnier, has such a personality, and I knew that we would make the perfect team.
In April 2003, Paris and childhood friend Nicole Richie began shooting the first season of The Simple Life in Altus, Arkansas. That summer, Rick Salomon started up a company called Beverly Hills Pimps and Hoes, which began with the goal of being a video production outfit. Salomon had talked about producing a documentary about the lifestyles of the rich and famous, or the girls gone wild of A-listers. Along the way, a run of promotional hats and t-shirts Salomon had made up for the videos took on a life of its own, and Beverly Hills Pimps and Hoes became a fashion line. In August, rumors of a Paris Hilton sex tape first began to surface. E! Network reported that Salomon was talking about selling the tape.
Warning, this video contains adult content not suitable for children.
Paris, who was at the time dating Girls Gone Wild creator Joe Francis, denied any such tape existed. On August 23rd, a one-time roommate of Salomon named Dawn Thrasher signed a licensing deal for the tape for $50,000 with a Seattle-based adult entertainment company called Marvad Limited. In October, a photo circulated online of Paris where her bare crotch was exposed underneath her skirt.
My manager told me Entertainment Tonight just called.
they have 30 seconds of you with your ex-boyfriend having sex.
In November, Marvad posted a 37-second preview clip of the tape to sexbrats.com. Several media outlets, including Entertainment Tonight, were forwarded the link.
Sex video showing Paris and her ex was released to media outlets and is circulating on the internet. All of this without her consent.
I couldn't believe that they didn't, or at least to my knowledge, they didn't sue him, because I would have sued him the first 10 minutes that I heard. And it shows what nice people they are. They didn't want to get involved. They didn't want to do anything that was so bad. They just wanted to let it go. I really disagreed with them. I told them, go out and sue his ass off. And they should have done that, in my opinion.
The Hilton family filed a lawsuit against Marvad for releasing private footage of their teenage daughter being taken advantage of by a middle-aged man while in a compromised state. Rick Salomon sued Marvad for copyright and the Hiltons for defamation over being characterized as a rapist and child predator. He claimed to have no knowledge of how Thrasher got a hold of the tape. In an affidavit, Thrasher testified that he and Salomon were in agreement of the deal and had split the proceeds. Salomon's claims were dismissed, while the Hiltons were awarded $400,000.
You know, in the beginning they said that I raped her and she was incapacitated and you couldn't see the whites of her eyes. And, you know, I have a full color version on trustfundgirls.com, trustfundgirls.com. You can see it was two people in love enjoying sex. Everybody has sex and, it's, you know, two people very much in love and having a good time.
Well, just what you wanted in more Paris Hilton news. Why do they make me read these stories? Today was the first day that you could buy the DVD called One Night in Paris. The new release is an extended version of the socialite's infamous tape. It includes never-before-seen images of Paris in the flesh. Her ex-boyfriend began mass marketing the color video today. Reps say it's much different than the video seen several months ago on the internet.
Hey, I'm Rick, and this is my One Night in Paris.
In April 2004, Salomon released the full video as One Night in Paris through Red Light District and on his own website, trustfundgirls.com.
Jerry Castro, an employee at the newsstand, says Paris went ballistic when she spotted her infamous X-rated video, One Night in Paris, for sale there.
So I ran up, I ripped the plastic back, and I just ripped it into shreds, and I looked at the guy, and I was like, you guys are disgusting. Like, this is not like a store, it's a family newsstand.
She used profanity to the ultimate. She points to the poster to her entourage and says, look what they're doing to me here. Don't you know my young fans come by here all the time? She threw her 80 cents change at me and took the video and said, I'm taking this and I'm not buying it.
Illicit tape starring Paris Hilton hit the internet this week.
I saw a little bit of that Paris Hilton tape today.
How many of you have seen them? I've seen them.
Yeah. And it was graphic, to say the least. I hate to tell you that I saw it, but I thought...
Really?
Oh, it was all over the place. No, I did it as a news person.
Okay, yeah.
Okay,
You didn't enjoy it, but you watched
No, I
it.
didn't understand. Thank you, Rosie.
When the tape first leaked, Paris was reportedly in shock. The Simple Life was set to debut in 2 weeks, and she already had several months of engagement scheduled for promotion. The only real precedent for her circumstance had been in 1997, when an explicit video of Pamela Anderson and Tommy Lee was released reportedly without their consent. In 2003, the notion of revenge porn had not yet come into the public discourse, and Paris's privileged background seemed to give the public extra license to slut-shame her for participating in the video in the first place.
It's the first time that the words Paris Hilton and job have ever been used in a sentence.
The new tape. I'll tell you what it is. It's her doing exactly what she should be doing in show business.
I'm curious, why are we so fascinated by rich white whores? What is that all about?
Although the persona she had cultivated up to now had been broadly immoral, immodest, and hedonistic, her disaffected detachment worked because she was not beholden to the usual powers that be. While the Good Old Boys Club continued to exploit their latest crop of aspiring starlets, Paris Hilton came into the business already wealthy, and fame seemed to be coming effortlessly to her. Ultimately, after hiding out for a couple months, Paris picked up her chin and pushed forward. The strategy paid off for her. 13 million had tuned in for the premiere of The Simple Life on December 2nd, most notably an increase of 79% among the prized 18 to 49-year-old demographic. Viewers still didn't quite know yet what to make of this new trend of reality television, and generally tended to view these programs more as documentaries than entertainment. They took the depiction of Paris Hilton and Nicole Richie as profane, entitled adult children thumbing their noses at the true salt of the earth at face value. The two had never had to work for anything in their lives, and now they were making a farce out of the very notion itself. By design, Paris and Nicole were off-putting, abrasive, and mostly unsympathetic. The initial blow to her public image from the sex tape and the residual denigration she experienced were manageable.
Is the Paris Hilton roomy?
It might be for you, but most people find it very comfortable.
Hampered in part by her own substance use and lack of on-screen charisma.
You could just walk around and just tell people to do things for you, and they'll do it.
But he actually had a really tight bottom. I have to give him credit. Because he was older. No,
that's funny. I didn't ask.
Nicole would be relegated to sidekick. Paris emerged as a new type of celebrity villain, seemingly famous for no particular reason, obnoxiously condescending, and shamelessly catty. Soon enough, Paris's love-to-hate-her brand of abrasive distastefulness had mostly neutralized the embarrassment of the sex tape. Having come through the experience largely intact, Paris recognized that surviving the next scandal would require her to innovate if she didn't want to end up another casualty of the Tinseltown flesh factory.
Hey, it's Lindsay. I'm back to show you more.
I've suggested so, since you're so aggressive and so is Hillary Duff, that y'all might just end up having a mud wrestling battle.
Oh my goodness, why do you say that? No.
Well, y'all are both in a collision course, y'all both stars and getting all these movies and singing.
Yeah, she's doing her own thing. She's doing the teen or younger thing.
That's true.
I'm going for the family movies.
That's right.
Let's do one more for safety, then we'll move and act.
Hey, I'm Hillary Duff from Lizzie McGuire, and you're watching Disney Channel.
Good job. Cut.
Disney stablemate Hillary Duff was reportedly approached first to play the lead in an adaptation of the novel Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, but had turned it down. The studio had already whipped up drama between Duff and Lindsay around their both having dated singer Aaron Carter.
Hillary and Lindsay have so much in common, how could they not be friends? They both started acting as kids. They both made big bucks as Disney darlings. They both hooked up with singer Aaron Carter. Oops.
And semi-choreographed confrontations at the premieres of Cheaper by the Dozen and Freaky Friday cemented the rivalry.
At the Freaky Friday movie that you're in, premiere, and you were in this movie with Lindsay Lohan. At the time, Lindsay Lohan having a feud with Hillary Duff, you bring Hillary Duff as your date to the premiere. Pandemonium breaks out. It was like a riot at the Tokyo Stock Exchange. Things went crazy.
I'm not up to date.
Yeah,
I didn't know.
You knew? Didn't you know? I'm 58 years old, and I knew that you can't bring Hillary Duff to a Lindsay Lohan premiere. You can't do it, ladies. You can't do it.
Yeah, I have no excuse, man.
According to Hillary, Lindsay called Chad and said awful things about her.
Sure, Lindsay did say some things about Hillary that may or may not be true, but who knows? Maybe Hillary did sell human organs on the Central American black market. Maybe she didn't.
And then movies, where do you want that to go?
I want to continue with it. I'm thinking of doing a psychological thriller next, which I think could be really interesting.
To get you away from the family stuff a little bit?
Yeah, but there's also, I'm doing a movie now called Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen, which is great for kids. But I just want to show people that I'm capable of doing other roles and playing other characters.
Time for you to grow up a little bit. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't want to grow up too fast, but there's not hurtful to do other things. Look at Jodie Foster. She's done it all, so.
So for you, has it worked out pretty good? This child actor thing has a lot of black marks against it.
Yeah, I think it's good that my parents wanted me to go to school, and I did too, and they wanted to keep me grounded and they wanted me to experience being a kid, and I think that's really important because people lose sight of that once you're in this business, you kind of don't want to stop, you know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Now that I'm older and I've been to high school and I know what not to be like, I'm pretty sure, and I've worked with great actors like Jamie from being around her. I want to be like her when I'm older. I don't want to be full of myself or anything like that because it's unattractive. So I think it's important that I went to school.
The free press from the prefabricated feud helped to make Confessions of a Teenage Drama Queen a box office success, in spite of its poor critical reception.
My children and I, we love you and The Parent Trap. I just want to give that to you. Thank you so much. And you've grown up a whole lot since then. You still live there with your parents?
I just bought a place out here with my friend Raven.
Oh,
so I'm back and forth.
Raven Simone, huh?
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, look at that, Raven Simone. So, What gentleman will be at the new pad with you and Raven Simone?
No one.
I'm just talking about, like parties,
No, I don't have a
get-togethers.
boyfriend.
She's single, but looking.
But I'm illegal for people that are old.
Well, some men like them young. We ain't gonna mention no names, but, I'm one of them. Okay, look, what have you been up to work-wise these days? What's going on for you next?
I just wrapped on 2 movies. One's Disney, one's Paramount. Tina Fey wrote one called Mean Girls.
Character is so different in this, in the sense that, she is a little bit older, and it's kind of more realistic, where it shows what really goes on in high school, and it's good to see that.
Writing the Mean Girls musical has been a dream come true.
Tina Fey starring in the Mean Girls musical is going to be fetch. And that is not going to happen.
Tina Fey became Saturday Night Live's first female head writer in 1999, and her tenure has been widely regarded as some of the strongest seasons in the 48 years in running history of the show. She began developing a script based on Rosalind Wiseman's book about female intersexual competition, Queen Bees and Wannabes.
In their May issue, Movie Line magazine released its top summer movies to see after Star Wars.
Austin Powers.
American Pie.
Wild Wild West. Eyes Wide Shut. Notting Hill.
Which makes us ask the question, why American Pie?
Okay, well, one time at band camp, I stuck a flute.
Up to then, the teen comedy genre continued to be saturated with lowest common denominator sex romps, tailored mostly to male audiences that had evolved little since the 1980s.
This one time at band camp.
That's a lot of flutes.
Unglued! Sorry. American Pie 2.
I'm not gonna eat that, you retard. No one calls me a retard, you freaking hobo! Yeah.
Slackers. The New Guy.
Want to take my clothes off with your teeth? Okay, you talked me into it.
Ask not what your college can do for you, but who can you do at your college? National Lampoon's Van Wilder. American Wedding.
The relatability and sophisticated satire of Mean Girls immediately resonated with audiences, and it quickly became a cult classic.
Hi, I'm Lindsay Lohan. Welcome back to Walt Disney World and our look at 100 years of magic. Actually, I'm Lindsay Lohan.
Meet Lindsay Lohan. Blue eyes, freckles, crushes on boys. She's just your typical American girl next door. That is, if the girl next door owns a $5 million mansion. Enter the world of Lindsay Lohan. She's hot. She's rich.
My credit card, that's what I have in my purse. That's all you need.
And she's living like no other teenager on the planet.
Lindsay Lohan is everywhere.
I'm only 17, so this is insane.
She just hosted Saturday Night Live.
Lindsay!
She's all over the newsstands.
Lindsay, right here!
And she's the new favorite of the Hollywood paparazzi.
So you're popping up everywhere on the cover of Us Weekly, ladies and gentlemen. Take a look at this shot. Oh, yeah, Teens Gone Wild. Look who's in the middle. Lindsay in the middle. A story about you making out with Wilmer from that 70s show at a place in L.A., a Hollywood hotspot called Avalon.
I'm 17, he's 24. What can really go on there? Nothing. Yeah, it's
Well, what about
silly.
these stories about you being out and
dancing on
a little
tables,
wild?
like...
Well, these are clubs where you got to be 21.
Okay. I get a call from my publicist. They've been tracking you for 3 months, so you better watch what you do. I'm like, I'm 17.
Yeah. How about Misha? Is she a wild one? Do you know her?
She's having fun. Like, she's in the spotlight. People are gonna try and kind of take you down. Everyone's doing their own thing and having fun.
Are you enjoying? I mean, are you enjoying it? It's happening so quickly. It's all happening around you. You're in the middle of it in this vacuum. Are you enjoying it?
Yeah, I love doing this. I wouldn't change it for the world. It's just, it's scary when you're kind of just acting your age and going out with your friends, and then they say, like, oh, she's ordering bottles of vodka to tables and stuff, and I don't need to do that. Like, I'm cool with Red Bull.
Yeah, hold out for a few years. And living with your parents or living on your own?
Living on my own.
Yeah, all right. And last but not least, I must know, do you have a fake ID?
No.
Oh,
There's
no fake ID.
point. But actually, Jay Leno did give me one recently.
Really?
I was on a show and he...
Thanks for outing him on national television. He'll be happy.
Now, the tabloid press seems to be waiting for Lindsay to make a mistake of her own. They're keeping a close eye on her every move, her late nights out, even her famous feud with Hilary Duff, another teen star.
When I heard that Lindsay was going to be on Saturday Night Live, I knew she was going to make fun of me.
You might also know me from the pages of Us Weekly as the girl who's always fighting with Hilary Duff.
I wasn't honored. I don't think it's an honor to be made fun of on Saturday Night Live. Our whole feud is so yesterday. So yesterday. So yesterday.
We didn't do anything derogatory towards her.
I'm not here to talk bad about her like she talks bad about me all the time. And I just knew that it was going to happen.
I'm sorry if she felt offended, but I thought things were cool. So, Hilary, I don't want to start anything again.
Feisty little one, aren't you?
Girls can get mean. Anything you do, good or bad, people are going to thrive on that and kind of try to take you down, or you know what I mean? And it's scary at 17 to have so many responsibilities that you have to watch everything you do.
It's not a bad life for a 17-year-old. She shops on Rodeo Drive.
Just once you wear it, you get photographed in it, you don't want to wear it again.
She drives a Mercedes.
Depends how many cars I'll need or whatever. Like, I'll probably get a truck soon.
And she can buy pretty much whatever she wants, including a $40,000 watch.
That's where I got the watch. I actually forgot to wear it today, too. I'm so mad.
There's a pink bag over there that I'm obsessed with.
Obsessed? That's an understatement. Most stars have trouble getting even one. But for Lindsay, it's not an issue. It's Lindsay Lohan's $10,000 cell phone.
As for her own real-life problems, Lindsay says she relies on her own close-knit family.
You want to go down to the beach?
Like, I try to hide from my friends as it is in a bathing suit.
I'm your mother and I'm in a bathing suit. I'm not too thrilled myself.
And that's why family vacations like this one in the Bahamas are still important to her.
Oh, muscle man down. I was raised by an amazing family, and I think that they've kept me grounded my whole life.
She's the oldest of 4 kids. There's Michael, 16, Allie, 10, and 7-year-old Dakota.
No kidding.
Her father, Michael, is an investment banker, and her mother, a former Radio City Rockette,
Lindsay, another picture behind you.
is also her manager.
The first thing Lindsay tells other children, this is a job. You have to show up, you have to know your lines, you have to deal with adults, you have to, it's very stressful.
With fame comes a cost, where her every move and her family's are up for public scrutiny.
They write that I'm going to doing drugs and stuff. That's stupid. I know I don't do that. I have a sister, I have a family. I know that from personal family experiences, seeing other people go through that.
Lohan admits to trying pot, but says she's never done cocaine, saying, quote, I've never tried cocaine. I've seen my father. I've seen how it literally tore my parents apart. And this is no normal father-daughter relationship. Lohan's dad, Michael, who's currently in jail stemming from a drunk driving charge, has been an obstacle for the teen queen. In December, Lohan pleaded guilty to assaulting Lindsay's uncle.
I'm addressing my issues, Billy. I mean, I will take care of this because my family is at stake. And I don't want to risk it ever again.
The only blemish on her career, which is an amazing career, seems to be the father, the antics, problems.
Yeah.
Is she afraid of him?
It's a very long, many years of things happening within that situation that it has become, yes, fearful at times.
The Lohan home had long been turbulent. Lindsay's career had been both a cash cow for the family, as well as a cloak for Michael and Dina's escalating substance abuse and domestic violence. Lindsay left New York to live in Hollywood. Her triumphant turn in Mean Girls locked her into the A-list and seemed to mark a strong transition towards adult roles.
So how old are you?
I'm 17.
17.
18.
So this is high school for you right now, essentially.
In some ways, I'm done with high school.
At just 17, she's living on her own in Los Angeles.
There's always good and evil out there, and you have to make your own decisions. I'm sure she will do that.
Or she'll make a couple of mistakes and learn from them like we all did.
Isn't that life? Haven't we all done that?
Michael Lohan knows about making mistakes. Just yesterday, after avoiding New York cops for a week, he was arrested on charges he assaulted a relative.
My brother-in-law got drunk and came to my house.
A few years back, he even served time in jail, convicted of tax fraud.
Lindsay hooks up her mom in all kinds of ways.
Dina has been Lindsay's manager and guided her career for a long time.
From the time that she was a little girl, Lindsay has been a money-making machine.
It's a lot of fun. E.T., Lindsay and me. I've got the questions only a mother can ask.
But any hope Lindsay had of escaping her toxic family life in New York evaporated after Dina followed her west, looking to capitalize on the moment by springboarding younger sister Allie's career.
Also looking on, mom Dina and 10-year-old sister Aliana, an up-and-coming actress herself.
Now, you're getting into acting too, though, right?
Yes.
What did you just do?
A commercial for my sister's doll, and like...
She's downsizing to make money too, inking a deal with Mattel to be the toy maker's first celebrity doll for their My Scene Barbie series.
This new radio iPod that just came out.
Hey, Allie's ready to take over. She sings Rockin' Around the Christmas Tree in her own holiday music video.
Rockin' around the Christmas tree. Always I sung that song on Christmas.
So is Lindsay's mini-me ready to take over the spotlight?
Do you want to follow in her footsteps and be as successful as her someday?
I want to. Hopefully I do. Yeah, I look up to her a lot because I see her doing it, and then I tried it my best to like do what she did.
Hi, this is Dina Lohan. I was just online and I saw the picture you have. Well, it's not even a picture. It's not even clear. You can't even tell who it is, and you're saying it's a family member of mine, and you need to get it down immediately because I've already been in touch with my attorneys, and the story is absolutely false.
Dina and Michael filed for divorce soon after, and the two began battling over how the now adult Lindsay's career was going to be managed. Michael advocated to have Lindsay sign with a professional agency, but Dina was convinced no one would represent her daughter's best interests as well as she could.
When she looks at me, all she sees is money, and that's why I want
that the people who have followed in your footsteps, like Kim Kardashian, are overshadowing you?
No, not at all.
There's been some talk about the ratings in the show being low. Has that upset you?
No.
never a feeling of, do you ever worry about your moment having passed?
The second season of The Simple Life continued to perform well, with 9.8 million tuning in for the premiere. The third season was already shot by the end of 2004. Paris was branching out, launching her own jewelry line and perfume that year. Nicole, meanwhile, had lost a noticeable amount of weight since the show began. Much of the attention she received centered around speculation over whether drug use or an eating disorder was behind it. When Paris was scheduled to host Saturday Night Live in February 2005, her co-star was not invited along. Instead, on the night of the show, she hosted a viewing party where she screened a copy of One Night in Paris to guests. Whether this was done out of spite or was just a bad joke done in particularly poor taste, the two had a public falling out as a result. The Simple Life was canceled by Fox, but picked up by E! For the fourth season, the show's format was retooled to allow for the two to film their parts separately.
So talk to me about this amount of fame. This amount of fame that you are, the scrutiny that you're under. I mean,
it's gotten worse just because of tabloid rumors and such.
Right.
It's hard because people will make literally, if anything up. If I don't go out to a club one night, they'll say I was there and use a different picture,
right.
Or they'll say they just say the most absurd things.
And you're 18 now, right? Yeah. I mean, what do they expect?
It's still not legal to go to clubs.
No, I mean, you can go to a club, yeah. But. So how do you deal with that? I mean, does it get to you? Do you?
No. It's normal.
You bring your family with you. I mean.
Lindsay's mom, Dina, who filed for divorce from Michael in January, has a restraining order against her estranged husband for his alleged death threats. Michael most recently made public accusations after Lindsay landed in the hospital, claiming she needed drug testing.
I was tired. I was having a bunch of asthma attacks that led up to that. And there was just, I was going through a time when I was just overscheduling myself and not taking the time for myself. And instead of resting sometimes, I would want to go out and hang out with my friends and go to a club, which probably wasn't the best thing to do.
there is a legend. Lindsay Lohan.
It's like we're connected or something.
And introducing the tricked out, wrapped up, and all-new Herbie.
For Lindsay's next project, Disney returned one more time to the well of their back catalog. Herbie Fully Loaded was a revival of the Herbie the Love Bug franchise from 1967 to 1980.
In Disney's all-new Herbie Goes Bananas.
Who is the one with the zing in his chassis?
The movie performed well, but Lindsay's enthusiasm for the project during promotion was visibly waning.
You've got a lot of fans here, obviously. This is incredible. I mean, wow.
Very good, very good. Now tell us about Herbie Fully Loaded. What's it about?
Oh, right, the movie.
Okay.
Herbie it's a NASCAR movie, and it's obviously a Disney remake.
Right.
Now, you must be very excited to be starring in a Herbie film.
Yeah, it was a lot of fun. It really was.
Well, I'm a fan of the Herbie films. There's been quite a number of Herbie films. Was it something that were you obviously aware of Herbie, but were you a fan of Herbie films beforehand?
You saw them? You saw them?
Yes, of course.
Really? You're not lying?
No, what, is it wrong to like a Herbie film?
After 8 years of unwittingly enabling Disney's snowballing dependence on remakes, Lindsay was ready to take on more mature work.
I read you're so over the term teen queen you can't hear it anymore. Is that true?
No, it's an honor to be called that.
Yeah.
But I feel like the roles that I'm interested in now are not really, they're not all like Mean Girls, essentially, I guess. And this movie kind of helped me get away from the teen queen title.
Ashley is a good luck charm.
This isn't mine. This is it. Sarah Jessica Parker's.
Jake is a bad luck magnet. But on one special night, one kiss switched their luck.
Unfortunately, her next film, Just My Luck, underperformed considerably.
In Just My Luck, now shooting in New York, Lindsay sets out to track down the guy who has magically given her a run of bad luck.
We're on the set. This is the steam room, the gorgeous steam room at the spa that we have. I don't know if you can see that.
Okay, Lindsay, the latest rumor in the headline-making life of Lindsay Lohan. Why did she have to be rushed from the set of her new movie to the hospital?
So many more important things to write about than me falling and saying it's not true.
Right.
I went through a phase where, I had to learn my lesson. I went out a lot, and
you're 18 years old. You are 18.
Yeah. But I think I've gone through this kind of thing now where I don't really do that anymore. I'm kind of over the whole thing of going out, and I've just been working a lot.
Lindsay's career took another hit when it came out that she had been hospitalized after becoming overheated and dehydrated while shooting her next film, Georgia Rule, in the summer of 2006. News of her repeated absences and difficulty on set were confirmed by co-star Jane Fonda.
Young Hollywood stars of today, it's so difficult with all the tabloids and paparazzi. And what was your advice?
It's not a dress rehearsal. This is it.
Okay,
but you screw it up now, you don't get another chance.
Jane made me cry today. She said the nicest things about me.
James Robinson, who sent that letter, and William H. Macy.
We're fine, though.
Is that okay? What was that situation?
I just saw the movie. I saw Georgia.
Oh, really?
It's amazing. We're so happy with it. It's amazing.
And it's all fine?
Oh,
with
yeah.
The letter and...
No, the movie's incredible. Everything was fine. I didn't even see it.
You never saw the letter?
The whole of anorexia.
Space Monkey Seacrest, our morning laptop.
You're going to Hollywood.
Oh, no, you guys. You're not going to believe what Perez Hilton wrote about us on his blog.
I've been bad. So bad. Ow. That's not hard enough. I like it harder. I want blood.
In 2004, a 24-year-old freelance writer and one-time Hollywood hopeful named Mario Lavandera had taken up blogging about show business. He developed an online persona that drew heavily on Paris Hilton's over-the-top caricature, adopting her camp aesthetic and crass vulgarity to his own queer flamboyance.
And I love to be the first to report a story or to break a story. And I love when people email me and they're like, I knew when I'd go to your website that I'd find that information there first. So when it's not first on my site, it's like, oh. I know, it kills me.
It's recording.
Hey everybody, it's Perez. You will never believe this. The biggest media whore on the planet, Michael Lohan, called me. Actually, he's on the phone right now, on hold, on mute. We're gonna talk to him. Hello? Hello? Yes? Hey, how are you?
Traffic for PerezHilton.com exploded in 2005 after he was the first to post photos of Brad Pitt and Angelina Jolie together as a couple.
Now, you got this website, and it started as a little thing that you did on your own, and it became this huge thing that, I mean, really, like, everybody, Brian Williams from NBC News was saying he checks
on this show.
Regularly. Yeah.
It was pretty awesome.
Yeah, I would imagine it's pretty awesome and also maybe a little disturbing.
Disturbing maybe to some celebrities, but I think a lot of the readers enjoy it and they keep coming back, and I get about 7 million people a day reading my website.
If people don't know, if they've not seen it, what Perez does, and I'm assuming that's not your real name, is he draws penises on people's faces.
You can interpret it as a penis.
At the time, the tabloid still considered magazines to be their main product. When sales had started to dip in the 90s, the industry did not recognize the web as a threat. Instead, the Enquirer and its cohorts began running weekly editions in hopes of boosting volume and reader retention. The demand for content to fill pages necessitated exaggerating and manufacturing controversy, conflict, and drama. Perez Hilton was able to combine the immediacy of an online platform with public appetite for parasocial voyeurism in a way that proved to be popular. He was also able to put snarky, unsubstantiated innuendo and shock above journalistic integrity far more efficiently than the burnouts at Us Weekly. He enjoyed outing men he believed to be gay.
So, you right now is a really sort of a big time for you because of the outing situation with Doogie Howser, etc.
Well, the new word is lanced.
Lanced?
I lanced Doogie Howser. I don't use the word outing because it's not part of my vocabulary. I report it.
Yeah.
Really, that's how I treat it. I report on the private lives of public people, gay or straight, closeted or not.
Now, is that true, the rumor that you are gay?
Ask Clay Aiken. I'm sitting on the chair where the Gakin sat.
Oh, now.
But he saved most of his venom for females, ruthlessly mocking them for their appearance, body size, and perceived promiscuity. Photos often included penises and jizz, crudely drawn over subjects with MS Paint. He also saw potential problems with substance abuse and eating disorders as fair game for ridicule.
Now you gave that nickname, and I'm sure Clay doesn't appreciate the nickname, but you have nicknames for a lot of celebrities. Let's go through some of them. You tell me what their nicknames are, right?
Okay.
Jessica Simpson you call?
Jugs.
Jugs. Britney Spears is?
She's a hot mess.
Hot mess.
And I call her a lot of other things.
Kirsten Dunst?
Kiki Drunkst.
These are very clever. You should write for Mad Magazine. Sienna Miller is?
Slutty Anna.
Victoria Beckham is?
I like to call her an alien or sometimes a robot with really big boobs.
And Misha Barton you call?
Mushy Fart One.
And why
I'm just having fun.
Cool. He's got a picture of me making myself barf while Paris holds my hair.
No, Nicole. Most people think eating and throwing up is a bad thing.
Really? But it's such a nice way to cleanse.
Oh, fudge! He's got a shot of Mary-Kate and I having a three-way with Jake Gyllenhaal!
Jake Gyllenboner. Oh, that's rich.
Perez is our friend. How does he get away with ratting us out over and over again?
I know. So I farted on Dakota Fanning's head, held her down, and made her smell it. Is that, like, weird or something? Fart City. You gotta give it to him. His captions are genius.
I'll just keep brainwashing the superficials until I'm the biggest gossip columnist in the world. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye, Perez. See you at Hyde next week.
What would be your ideal if you could get one photograph? What would that photograph be? Have you thought about this?
Oh, God. Ooh. Well, I mean, it's kind of, I'm going to hell. I know that, but I would love to see a picture of Britney Spears smoking crack. That would be a good one. You know, can you imagine lighting up the crack pipe or maybe like shooting heroin? It would explain so much.
One of Perez's favorite targets in particular was Britney Spears.
Britney, leave me alone, Britney. I'm really tired of having to write about you because you're not making a contribution to society anymore. Britney! Britney, you're no talent hack now. You were good once in the day, but now you just sell magazine covers. And people buy them. Why do we buy them? Why are we so fascinated by you, Britney? You're so insecure with yourself. You need to just go away for a really long time.
Paris, I wanted to ask you about the comments on TMZ, which have been just incredibly harsh toward you in many cases. May I read them? Because I'm just wondering how you react to that. Paris is just an oversized human condom. Paris is like a fart in a mitten. You know it's there, you can't stand it, but you can't get rid of it. Would you please drop over dead or commit suicide, you damn slut? Does this stuff make you cry? Does it upset you to the point where you just lose it?
How's it going, guys?
We don't care. What? And she's got a fire crotch that all you guys would of course suck because you're f***ing desperate. Guys, step aside, please. We think she's a fire crotch. Or we know.
Are we going to the parking lot or are we going?
I mean, we don't think that. We know it's obvious. Red pubic hair comes from inside her. She's like an orange tree.
Excuse me. Excuse me.
But you guys care about her. The truth is, her movie bombed, and her is orange. All right, that's all I have to say. Nobody would f her with a 10-foot pole. I wouldn't f her. I wouldn't f her with my shrinks. This is our last word. Okay, we're gonna leave. But Lindsay Lohan is a fire crotch, and she has freckles coming out of her vagina, and her clitoris is 7 feet long. Go. Now.
Jesus, Paris.
All right, Brittany. We're gonna go. What are you? Brittany, are you gonna go down?
Where?
25-year-old petroleum heir Brandon Davis was not a household name per se, but his presence as a somewhat brotherly protector figure around the elite party circuit in Hollywood made him a familiar face to the paparazzi. His novel euphemism for Lindsay's pubic hair quickly went viral, and overnight people wanted to know, who is this sweat-soaked douche?
Lindsay Lohan has got the stinkiest, f***ing sweaty, orange vagina anyone has ever seen. I haven't seen it.
Paris, do you agree with him?
But it shits out freckles, it's orange, and it f***ing smells like diarrhea.
Paris, do you agree with him?
While laughing along uncontrollably, Paris appears to be coaching Brandon at several points in the footage.
It's quite a night, Paris. Bye. Love you.
The fire crotch lives.
Paris, can I get a kiss?
The fire crotch lives, and the movie's bombed.
Paris, can you blow me?
Movie bombed?
Lindsay's movie bomb?
What's her name?
Whose movie bombed?
Fire crotch's movie bombed.
Get in the car and I'll follow.
His half-hearted effort at improvisation seems to support the likelihood that fire crotch had been fed to him by Paris.
Fire crotch.
Fire crotch movie.
Fire.
I got you. Babe, wait. Get in your car and she's following you.
Fire.
Get in your car, she's gonna follow you out.
Let's go. Come on.
I love you.
Yo, baby, go.
Also supporting the likelihood that Paris actively orchestrated the tirade is the tabloid framing of their feud as driven by Lindsay befriending Nicole Richie, and most recently, reportedly hooking up with unremarkable Trustafarian Stavros Niarchos, only days after he'd broken up with Paris.
It was reported that Paris told Lindsay, "Don't ever say you're my friend again." Then Paris went back to her house and actually screamed through her fence to Lindsay's friends that Lindsay better stay away from her.
However much, if at all, these reports genuinely bothered Paris, the nastiness of the attack seems as much in line with the backhanded terms of endearment that Paris had popularized.
Sexy, hot bitch. What?
seriously playing into a tabloid narrative with a mean-spirited but superficial piece of Hollywood catfighting. The public quickly enough moved on to the next update on Michael Jackson's ongoing legal battles, and the episode would be largely forgotten.
Lindsay, what did you have to answer to Barry's comment the other night?
Between her career downturn and Dina's counterproductive efforts to mitigate it, it's unclear how Fire Crotch affected Lindsay personally. The nature of the attack reflected society's permissive attitude towards dehumanizing and devaluing females for entertainment at the time. In this instance, Lindsay was degraded for her sexuality, her signature red hair, and her freckles. Qualities over which she had no control that nonetheless determined she was fundamentally unworthy of affection. And Lindsay had already seen this true Hollywood story before.
Today, Lindsay Lohan is part of a band of screen idols under 20, playing to Hollywood's hottest new demographic, fans under 20. Mary-Kate and Ashley Olsen were the first to figure out they can attract fans at a very young age who will stick with them as they grow up.
Well, you know, what we've heard, my mom or my mom's friend went in and told my mom, hey, there's an interview for twins for a TV show.
The Olsen twins had been born just weeks before Lindsay and were primetime TV stars before developing object permanence. After ABC ended Full House in 1995, the 9-year-olds carried their momentum into a multimedia and merchandising enterprise.
With a string of home videos, the twins have hit the big time.
They were second only to Bill Cosby in popularity.
You'll be out at FAO Schwartz tomorrow for a party, right? To promote your new video, your new record.
While the twins' expanding franchise paid off exponentially, the media seemed to grow impatient to start sexualizing the girls well before they became teens.
Consisted of saying, take a look at this, which is what he used to say to Mary-Kate Olsen in her dressing room. Now should have been called Blackjack because you hit on the Olsens when they were 8 and you didn't stop till they were 21.
For 8 seasons, half an hour a week, Full House kept pedophiles off the street. In fact, 3 of them were on the show.
After all these years, I'd never met the Olsen twins. He introduced me to them. I said to him, how do I tell them apart? He says, Ashley swallows.
Thanks to Daquan and the casting crew. And remember, we're legal in 4 weeks.
By 2004, at least 7 websites were running, dedicated to the countdown to their turning 18.
So June 13th is our birthday, and we officially become, presidents of our company, Dual Star.
June 13th, you take over the presidential reins as 18-year-olds?
Yeah, I mean, we've been acting in that. We've been acting,
as presidents.
As presidents for, since we've been doing this whole thing. But I guess, legally we get the name.
Mary-Kate and Ashley spent June 13th, 2004, finalizing paperwork to formally assume control of their production company, Dual Star. Their elation over the moment had been dampened by their latest release.
Snap out of it!
Produced by Dual Star and distributed by Warner Brothers, New York Minute was the twins' theatrical debut, following a long run of commercially successful straight-to-video titles. And the timing of its premiere just ahead of their 18th birthday suggested a goal of moving towards larger-scale vehicles. Instead, New York Minute was beat out by the previous weekend's release, Mean Girls, and set a new record for the lowest opening weekend of a release in 3,000 or more theaters.
But now, just days after their highly publicized 18th birthday, Mary-Kate has revealed that life is never perfect, even for a girl who seems to have it all.
Mary-Kate now is at a treatment facility working towards getting healthy.
About 2 weeks ago, Mary-Kate entered that treatment facility, according to her publicist, to seek professional help for a health-related issue. According to published reports, that issue was an eating disorder. Last month, they released a movie, New York Minute, and that's about how long it lasted at the box office. But in the publicity blitz for the film, one thing became clear. While both are petite to begin with, Mary-Kate was looking frightfully thin.
A week after their 18th birthday, news came out Mary-Kate had sought treatment for an eating disorder. A panicked California milk processor board immediately pulled the twins from their then ubiquitous Got Milk campaign. Their retreat from the public eye left the tabloids callously mocking Mary-Kate with feigned concern and speculation over her weight.
You look beautiful, Lindsay. Wait, with Paris tonight, Lindsay?
Lindsay, we love you, Lindsay.
Yeah.
That's enough, man.
Paris
the cut. I'm sorry, Lindsay, what'd you say? The what? Lindsay, Paris is the what?
Paris is
I'm sorry, Lindsay, what'd you say? Lindsay, Paris is the what?
Just kidding. I love Paris Hilton.
What'd you say a second ago about Paris?
Hey,
Why is Paris a Alright, Lindsay. Lindsay, why is Paris a
I never said that.
We got you saying a second ago.
Tell them Dirty Days Entertainment.
Paris is your friend.
Lindsay loves Paris.
No,
I love her.
It's enough.
I love you, Miss my friend.
Are you being sarcastic, Lindsay?
This is a video that Paris Hilton, and I'm saying this on tape. She hit me last night for no reason, apparently, at my friend's house, and I didn't know she'd be there, and she hit me, and she hit me with a drink and poured it all over me. And it hurts, and it's not okay. It's not cool. And I'm sorry for everyone that thinks I'm crazy. I'm just trying to sorry to hear that.
Lindsay, can you talk to
Can I get one frame? Just one frame? I don't know if it's about being treated fairly in the press at all. I think you just have to, you put yourself in this position, and you put yourself out there, therefore people are going to say what they want to say, and everyone's going to have an opinion, and that's fine. I think in a way, I don't know what life would be without it at this point.
Thank you for watching.
Mom's in the car with you? Yes, she's in the car with me. Well, she's kidnapping you. Where are you?